Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we are specifically going to talk about um, the addition of Humblewood to Dungeons and Dragons canon, in my humble opinion. All right, so there's a lot happening on Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is literally, I comment, on every single event of significance. I attempt to comment on every single event of significance that occurs on Dungeons and Dragons. That is impossible for me or any one commentating source to do, because so much is happening on Dungeons and Dragons that it is quite literally impossible to for any one source to commentate or cover. I commentate, I don't cover. To commentate on or cover every event of significance on Dungeons and Dragons, because Dungeons and Dragons is this organic living thing that is doing so much. No one source can cover it all. The character sheet on comicbook.com is a very good source. They're doing an excellent job. Tabletop News was attempting to do it, but I think they're trying to do something else. They're an interesting coverage source. Very interesting. Excuse me. But yeah, it is interesting what's happening. But there's just a ton happening, and D&D Beyond is becoming more and more important as a source of Dungeons and Dragons canon. All right, so first of all, let me give a quick definition of what Humblewood is. So I woke up and I got my daily, video from Official Dungeons and Dragons, which has that beautiful new 50th anniversary celebration logo, which is really exciting to see. And they're like, hey, the Official Dungeons and Dragons, YouTube channel, they're like, let's dig into Humblewood. And I'm like, wait a second, why are you digging into Humblewood? Like, Humblewood's just some scrub indie product. Nobody cares about that. And they're like, nope. Like, Humblewood, and in my humble opinion, what they were saying is, we're talking about it because it's D&D canon. Right? And so let me explain to you why I think Humblewood is D&D canon. So first of all, if you don't know what Humblewood is, I'll describe it real quick here. It was a 5e product that was made to be 5e, right? And 5e is like, hey, we can't get official permission to create this as a D&D product, but we'll just put this 5e stamp on it, because 5e isn't official for anything, but 5e is recognized worldwide as synonymous with D&D adjacent or D&D compatible, right? Kind of interesting, right? So Humblewood's been bouncing around for a while, and I've been very interested I was very, very interested in the product. In fact, I came close to buying a misprint. They were like, hey, you want a Humblewood hardback? You can buy it for $10. And I was like, that sounds pretty good. I came close, but I've never owned Humblewood before. But it comes on a 50, and basically it is it's like Redwall, where all the player characters in the setting are animals, and mostly it's bird folk, but they do have like a playable player character species for fox, for hedgehog, for trash panda, for a couple others, right? Like really cool stuff. Very, very neat. I was very impressed, right? So this thing's been around for a while, and so D&D, like Todd Kenrick, and like official D&D people start talking about Humblewood. I'm like, why, right? So I go, and they're like, it's on D&D Beyond, and I was like, wait, what, right? And where is it on D&D Beyond? Well, if you go to D&D Beyond, okay, so what is Dungeons and Dragons canon, right? Without question, Dungeons and Dragons canon is any D&D hardback with the red ampersand on it. And that means that Matthew Mercer's Exandria is D&D canon, and that means that, what is the other one? There's another one that's quite interesting. Yeah, but that meant that, and so those D&D canon, and then Ravnica and Theros and Strixhaven, right? All canon to D&D, right? Like pure D&D product, right? It's not separate in any way, right? And so basically, if that's established, right, that that Mercer's Exandria books are canon, and that's Call to the Netherdeep and Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, right? These aren't separate products. These are official D&D canon products, right? Then they're putting them in partner. So if you go on to D&D Beyond, you'll see here's all the sources, and then there's a line, and at the bottom it says partnered content, and stuff from Dungeon Dudes is down there, and right there is Explorer's Guide to Wildemount and Call to the Netherdeep, right, which are official D&D canon hardbacks with the official red ampersand on the side, right? So I think that everything in that grouping, in my humble opinion, that's all canon, which means Humblewood is literally canon to Dungeons and Dragons at this point. Now, what does that mean, right? Well, one of the things that's really fascinating is that it means that the entire indie tabletop role-playing game market, the entire tabletop role-playing game industry, the entire indie tabletop role-playing game activity sphere is now nothing, absolutely nothing, right, but a farm link for D&D, and you can be pulled up to the big leagues. And that's what Dungeon Dudes have been. They've been pulled up. Mercer was pulled up, and they get at bats like in the official big league, right? And Humblewood is now at bat, right? This is like official D&D canon. That's pretty incredible. That is truly incredible. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. What's important is when I hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.